Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li waziran min ahli Haruna akhi ushdud bihi azri washriku fi amri kay nusabbihaka kaseera wa nazkuraka kaseera innaka kunta bina basira. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Eid Mubarak everyone. Inshallah we will continue with the 22nd word. We are on the 10th proof of how we can recognize the Lord of the universe, not just via information, but to recognize his qualities. And I was thinking about recognition. So for example, we recognize a lot of things in the companies that in this world. It's very easy to see, okay, this laptop or this smartphone is made by this particular company. The double arches we quickly recognize indicates this particular restaurant or this place. And a squishy sign, we know, oh, these are the brand of a sneaker. So it's very easy to recognize a lot of the things in this world that are corporate. But really to see the actual owner of the things, recognize the Lord of the universe, we kind of miss out on those things. So we'll continue with this 10th proof. So come, my friend, who has come a little to his senses. We have been here 15 days, and 15 days for the author indicates the age of 15 or the age of discretion or maturity, and he quotes from Bukhari's hadith on maybe the responsibility or of a human being at the age of maturity to recognize, to know what his purpose in life is. So if we do not know the regulations of this world and do not recognize its king, so whoever is the king of this world, we shall deserve punishment. So we have no excuse because for 15 days, as though given a respite, they did not interfere with us. So whoever the king and his authority did not interfere, just let the human being be free. And now at the age of discretion, maturity, it becomes a little more serious matter for a human being. So the accountability starts happening. Of course, we have not just been left to our own devices. We cannot wander around among these delicate, well-balanced, subtle, skillfully made, and instructive creatures like an animal and spoil them. They would not permit us to harm them. The penalties of this country's august king are bound to be awesome. So a just king are bound to be awesome. You can understand how powerful and majestic he is from the way, by looking at his acts, way he orders this huge world as though it was a palace, and makes this world revolve like a machine. The king administers this large country like a house, missing nothing. Each and everything is taken care of. See, like filling a container and emptying it, he continuously fills this palace, this country, this town with perfect order and empties it with perfect wisdom. So both bringing it into being into this world is with perfect order, and taking it out, emptying it out is also with perfect wisdom. Like spreading out a table, then clearing it away. Varieties of foods are brought in turn and given to eat in the form of a great variety of tables. The tables indicate the face of the earth in summer, during which hundreds of tables of the most merciful emerge fresh and different from the kitchens of mercy. So in summer, many different fruits, vegetables come fresh and different from each other. From the kitchens of mercy, every garden is a cauldron, every tree a tray bearer. So a variety of tables being laid out by an unseen hand in every part of his vast country, and then being cleared away. The seasons change in the fall, and all the things start dying away. So the unseen hand clears away one, then brings another in its place. You see this too, and if you use your head, you will understand that within that awesome majesty is an infinitely magnificent liberality, complete freedom, free will being exercised in however things are coming into existence, how they're changing, how they're being taken away. And see, just as all these things testify to that unseen one's sovereignty and unity, so too these revolutions and changes, which pass on in succession like caravans, and are opened and closed from behind that true veil, testify to his continuance and permanence. I will pause here to hear Brother Ali. Go ahead.
In the last part of the previous paragraph, which says the tables being laid out by an unseen hand. This is an excellent free thinking, no bias. No bias. It's an excellent example of free thinking. What does it mean? Not using the previous conclusions. We are seeing here, and something wonderful things are going on. Even we may not like some so-called disasters, still wondrous things. Extraordinary things are going on here. No one can make it. No one can create the ocean. No one can create the storm in the ocean or any other flood, for example. We cannot create it. They are all wonderful. And the free thinking says there is an unseen hand. Oh man, one can be that free, and you cannot be more than this free. An unseen hand is doing all this. The matter cannot do that. Somebody is organizing it. Something is organizing it. Something. So this is the beginning, of course, of travel or journey into belief. An unseen hand. Then it will come that unseen one's sovereignty and unity in the following, the beginning of following paragraph. There. That unseen one's sovereignty and unity. This is also interesting. Slowly, step by step, so that the conclusion, whatever the conclusion we end up with, must settle down comfortably, not hesitation, without any hesitation, and being satisfied with it, step by step. We have to learn this kind of thinking. We may say that I believe in God and that's it, and go back. That is what Allah is creating. That is not conviction. That is not really certainty, the way the certainty establishes in one's heart. Now, there is something, I cannot explain it now in this world, something that I don't know, something not in this world, noble, something that I can really see and experience, but an unseen hand is working. And this unseen hand declaring its sovereignty and unity, it means everything is under my control, and only this one, this unseen hand, whoever has it, is doing this. I mean, unseen hand is a figure of speech. We understand. We have to say that somebody, something, if the action is conscious or understandable, then the one who is doing it is also conscious, must be conscious. So this is, everywhere is the same things are going on, everywhere at the same time. Endless number of things are happening at the same time. It means the unseen hand is doing all of them, because the same things are going on everywhere. I cannot say separated one part from the other. The universe is in a unity, isn't it? So, and this is, everything is under his control, his administration, and this one, it must be a single being. That is how we can comfortably really come to the conclusion that God must be the absolute being. This is an excellent example of free thinking, unconditional thinking. Thank you.
Thank you for laying that out, Brother Ali. So laid out by an unseen hand. So looking at all the things that are coming around us, we have to pay attention to them and wonder about them. And then that's how, by looking at them and observing carefully, we can see that all of them, the things, testify to the sovereignty and unity. So it gradually, it builds upon this free thinking, continues, and the conclusions and belief builds into belief. To all the revolutions and changes which pass on in succession like caravans and are opened and closed. So from that unseen hand behind that true veil, testify to his continuance and permanence. For the causes of things disappear along with them, So whatever may seem that they are the cause also are transient things, and they also disappear. So if we think the tree is the cause of the fruit, both the fruit and the tree both disappear, let's say during fall season. Whereas the things which we attribute to them, which follow on after them, are repeated. That means those works are not theirs, but the works of one who does not perish. So whatever the means are being used are repeated. So by the, again, using the unseen hand. So that shows somebody is in control, in charge of them. It is understood from the bubbles on the surface of a river disappearing, and the bubbles which succeed them sparkling in the same way, that what makes them sparkle is a constant and elevated possessor of light. What makes them sparkle is a constant and elevated possessor of light. It's not by themselves that they are sparkling, but they are made to sparkle by the one who owns the possessor of light. Similarly, the speedy changing of things and the things that follow on after them, assuming the same colors, show that they are the manifestations, inscriptions, mirrors, and works of art of one who is perpetual, undying, and single. So here I think this 10th proof is to pay attention again to the revolutions that are happening and wondering about them. Brother Ali, go ahead.
So this phrase took my attention on the fourth line of the first paragraph. For the causes of things disappear along with them. Now, what does it mean? The causes of things disappear along with them. Now, I think, for example, when a person dies, the spirit is taken away, or as the materialists reduce it to only life is, or life has become dysfunctioning, then of course the body doesn't work. When the body doesn't work, spirit cannot benefit from it, so that the spirit leaves this body. That is we call death. So causes of things disappear. It means, for example, there is a human capacity to be able to see. We can see now while we are alive. When death happens, all my eyes, nerve system, and brain connection between nerve communications between eye and the brain, and also the spirit has gone now. There is no free will to direct this way or that way. Now, life is gone. Power of sight is gone. Along with this, eye dies as well. The causes of things disappear with them. They become dysfunctioning. That is what it is. I mean, I don't know whether I am exaggerating or not. That is really important. Now, if the causes were causes, they should continue causing the things to exist. But when the result dies, causes also die. It means causes do not have any independent being or independent qualities, independent powers at all. That is the best way of understanding, to me, causes do not have any effect by themselves. Now, I'm thinking of this theoretically, or in the theoretical base seem to be very important, and I'm trying to understand it. The easiest way to display it. The first example came to my mind. For example, again, building. Human beings understand this. The brick on the building, the walls of the building, is functioning. When you knock down the house, look, although it is a physical example and bad example that I didn't really think about it deeply, bad example, brick is there, even it is there, but people say bricks are making the wall. Materialist people say this. Matter is making what the things are. But brick is there, but it is not making anything by itself. Knocked down somewhere in a ruin, they become just trash. They have no value anymore. But brick is there, but no, has no value. When it was employed on the wall, it had value. It was functioning something. We understand that brick itself is not functioning. It is put there in order to fulfill a certain mission. That is why it was functioning there. I mean, all the bricks together constitute the wall, functioning. So let's say second floor is based on it. It is functioning. But when the building is knocked down, brick is still there. This is the example, of course, a metaphor. But it is not functioning as it was. No. I was going to keep I myself is going to, or was keeping the wall there. Let me go there and do the same thing. No, they have no conscience, nothing at all. When the building is knocked down, dysfunctioning, the causes automatically dysfunction, demonstrates that causes cannot have any choice of themselves and cannot fulfill anything of themselves. This is important, but I couldn't really think about it and develop it. If you help me, I will understand. I will appreciate it and I will understand better, inshallah. This phrase is very important to me in order to understand that matter doesn't have any function from itself. They are employed, created and employed.
Thank you, Brother Ali. So from your analogy of the brick, so we can say every being, everything in this universe is like a brick. Doesn't function by itself.
Mm-hmm.
on its own, but when it's placed in this universe accordingly, then it functions. But all these, even the human being is also not existing by himself, but is placed deliberately, just like the brick, to function in this universe. And if we see that anything that is contributing to my existence, let's say for a human being, all the things around me, I would think that they are helping me, but they're all causes and they also disappear.
For example, I die, and you see that my children maybe continuing their life. But we understand that as the following sentences, whereas the things which we attribute to them, which follow on after them, are repeated. But I know I didn't make my children. I know my cells didn't make my children. I ate some food as far as my body is concerned to continue in this world existing. That is, but my children are eating different food. That is, they have nothing to do with me in their existence. That is why, although human creation is repeated generation by generation, but causes change. Now, this material used in their existence is changed. But they need to be reconstructed by this unseen hand. Why? They cannot, for example, knock down the building. They cannot become a new building again. But we know that there is another building is emerging there. Even, let's assume, although it is not really true, the same material, the same bricks are used in the new building. But it's the new building, and it is not the bricks themselves getting together and making the building. Another conscious being is taking them and reconstructing completely a new building. Even the bricks stay alone after the house is knocked down, demolished. Bricks are there, but not in reality. In every new creation, old bricks are not used, and new bricks are used. Old bricks are turned into soil. My body will turn into soil, nothing to do with the body of my children at all. And my children are giving completely new bricks. That is how the creation is. Let's assume that the ruins of the previous demolished house, these ruins material are used, but still not the matter by itself, but by something else, somebody else. An unseen hand is making a new building. This is how we should see the world. That is why the world is continuously changed, especially living beings are dying and new generations are created, demonstrating that the things are not continuously making a life where they are employed. The matter itself is not really acting by itself. It is destroyed and new things are created later on. They are all repeated. Human beings die at the same time, completely new babies are created. It means the causes are not functioning by themselves at all.
Yep. Thank you, Brother Ali. So I just highlighted like the example of the bubbles on the surface of a river disappearing and the bubbles which succeed them sparkling in the same way. So they're all possible by the possessor of light, whoever is bringing them into being, into existence.
Bubbles are new bubbles, not old bubbles anymore, but demonstrating the same qualities as previous bubbles.
Yep. So the bubbles which succeed them sparkling in the same way. Same qualities. All right, so we can move on to the 11th proof.
This last sentence, or the 10th, yeah. So okay, doesn't matter. Show that they are manifestations, inscriptions, mirrors, and works of art of one who is perpetual, undying, and single. Look, started from an unseen hand, and then this unseen hand is has the sovereignty over everything and must be a one, unity, must have unity. It was only one, the only one, and this only one must be a perpetual, undying, and single, because the things are changing, but the same action, same demonstration is continuing. Perpetual, undying, and single. It means the things are dying, but the sunlight sparkling, reflecting its light on the bubbles. Bubbles are changing, but the sunlight is not changing. The same quality of the sunlight manifests in the new ones. It means bubbles are not, has nothing to do with their existence. They are given existence, and whatever the qualities we have seen in the existence of the previous generation of any creation, the same qualities we can see on the creation of the following generation. It may be a generation of microbes every second, even more frequent than this. I don't know, when I remember reading long ago from a science journal, they said this germs or something generates very quickly. They say there are some creatures, animate beings in the world. They come to this world, live and die in a very small fraction of second. Is it correct? You know, have you heard this before, or it wasn't really?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Sorry?
I was saying you were right that there are some organisms that die within minutes.
10 minutes, not too much. They say in a fraction of a minute. They regenerate very quick. they die, but new things are coming, more number and no number. That's why, for example, when the virus gets into the body, you find them in 2-3 days, everywhere is covered with new viruses in every part of the body. Is it correct? So quick, so quick. That these are also living according to their capacity in this world, experiencing existence and disappearing. Wonderful things are going on here.
Indeed, wonderful things are happening. So at the age of maturity, we are responsible for seeing all these things.
Yep.
And doing free thinking like this author is presenting, seeing all the things in the universe, seeing that they are operating by an unseen hand, then moving on to see his oneness, sovereignty, and unity, and then concluding about all his manifestations, mirror works of art of someone who is perpetual, undying, and single.
Going step by step.
Step by step as a human being, inshallah. Yeah.
Excellent example, Masha.
MashaAllah, amazing how this author is sharing this. Okay, so we'll move on to the 11th proof. Come, my friend, now I shall show you a decisive proof, as powerful as the 10 previous ones. So a decisive proof. We shall board a boat. Okay. This is a long footnote here. So the boat is the ship indicates history, and the peninsula, the era of bliss or age of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Through casting off the dress of this low civilization on the dark shore, entering the seas of time, boarding the ship of history, and alighting at the Arabian Peninsula, an era of bliss, and visiting the glory of the world, peace and blessings be upon him, at his duties. We know that he is a proof of divine unity so brilliant that he illuminates the entire globe and the two faces of the past and the future, and disperses the darkness of unbelief and misguidance. So now they're going into this era of bliss of the time of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and sail to a peninsula far away. All right. For the key to this riddle filled. Okay, yeah, Brother Ali, go ahead.
Oh, I don't want to miss this point here in the footnote. So you can bring it out maybe again once more. Yeah. So the era of bliss or age of the Prophet. Now, do we have to go there? Or do we have to look at our time now, right now, through the message he brought to us? Which one? I don't know what happened there. History tells many different things. Everybody is mentioning something. Is it really very essential to go there and see it? I mean, historical evidence, yes, you can go on Hajj and experience the Prophet's message in physical terms. I mean, you have to do it only once in your life if it is possible for you. But I can bring the message to me and look at the word created in front of my eyes right now and look at the creation, the word outside here that I am experiencing through the message the prophet brought to me, which is more practical, is obvious, isn't it? Now, he says, he is a proof of divine unity. Why? Not his body is proof of divine unity. Well, if it is, yes, I can understand, study the body of anyone, including my own body. I understand that whoever created the universe, he created my body in it because they are perfectly adjusted and interactive with each other. Not the body, but his message is the proof of divine unity. So illuminates the entire globe. Doesn't mean that prophetic message has arrived to Siberia, China, inland China. No. No, what does it mean? Through this, his message, I can see everything in the universe and explain why and how they exist. How they exist, why they exist, by using, if you like, the torch of the message that I received from this prophet. Now, and then it is another thing. Yeah, let's skip it if it's possible. Illuminates the entire globe. That is what we talked about. But the two faces of the past and the future. What does it mean? Yeah, when we read it, that's what I feel. When we read the text, it sounds, I mean, yeah, true. But when you go into details and question almost every phrase, if not every word, which I studied this book by word, almost. So I am very sensitive about these details. That's why I get excited. Not the general understanding. General understanding is okay, not wrong. But when you go into details, you really get excited. No, don't misunderstand me, but these kind of books are written by benefiting the Quran, benefiting from the Quran. Quran is the masterpiece of this. When you really have the opportunity, inshallah, you will, and I will as well, if, as much as possible, studying the Quran word by word in some crazy scholars writing 40-page volumes of tafsir, studying not only the word by word, every grammar usage employed in these words are also studied. This is Ibn Ashur, Alusi on the 18th, 19th century, the close ones. They are crazy about this, the detail of the words. So really, I mean, I wouldn't say that, I never say that. I studied Ibn Ashur and Alusi, but when I read the references from them, it is 40, one of them is 40 volumes, the other one is 30-something volumes. Let alone reading one volume nowadays is almost impossible for the new generation. So 40 volumes, who's crazy nowadays? So just search from Google and find out the word and say what Alusi said about it. So, or Ashur ibn Ashur, they are somehow the collection of the previous studies And some of them really, even Ashur especially, seems to be updating this information. They are great works. We have to understand. Also, El-Menar is another wonderful work, late work on the early 20th century. They go into details. Nursi goes into the details of Iman matter, belief matters, benefiting from those sources. And how he says here, disperses this light of the prophet, or let's say more clearer, the light of the message of the prophet, disperses the darkness. It means, oh, I don't know what happened in the past. I don't know what will happen in the past. So, of the darkness of, sorry, where are we? Yeah. And sorry, I'm reading different places, sorry. The two faces of the past and the future illuminates the same thing, illuminates the two faces of the past and the future. Now, if we understand and we are convinced what happened in this world, what is happening now in the creation of the universe, that is what we are experiencing. And we see that it is continuously renewed. But bubbles are dying. New bubbles are coming into existence, brought into existence by an, I love this expression, by an unseen hand. This is really very daring thing to say about God. So we love speaking by saying God is Allah. So we love it. But this man is very free. So never uses previous conclusions and also cultural elements. It doesn't mean that culture is completely wrong, but cultural elements means this, I have learned this, that's it, this seems to be true and continue. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't have an effect on my spirit. So the two faces of the past and future becomes illuminated. Why? How? I understand bubbles are going in a very limited window of time, limited time limit. I don't know how to say section, limited section. I have seen 10 examples of it. Let's say in my life, comparing the huge universe and time, billions of years of creation, I can say only 10 bubbles I am seeing it out of billions of them. So bubbles are going and new bubbles are coming, but the same qualities are manifesting on them. The same light qualities are reflected on them. What does it mean? Well, this chain is going. I don't have to bother what will happen tomorrow when the doomsday will come and the universe is destroyed. Don't you see that the millions of living beings are destroyed? They die. Go and see the cemetery, full of them. How about kingdom of animal and vegetable kingdom, animal kingdom? Endless fossils are there, available ones, but we know that billions of different animals came and gone. So they must be the same thing that I'm experiencing now. My father, my grandparents, my parents, myself, my children, and my grandchildren. That's it. That's what I'm experiencing here. Nothing more. That's enough for me. I know that they are bubbles. We are all bubbles. And the same quality, then qualities are manifested on me. So we have to take the message and apply it to today's experience, today, my experience, as I am doing right now. Apply it. You will see and feel comfortable that 13 billion years ago, the universe must be created by the same one. Another billions of years ago, if there is creation continuing, it will be the same qualities manifested in that. So do I bother about my past? No. About my future? No. Because my past and my future are taken care of by the same, I will use the analogy, sunlight. I am comfortable now. About what? From the beginning to the end of the universe. I know what's going on. I don't have to experience it. One slot in time is enough. That's a perfect way of understanding the reality of existence. And that's the perfect way of solving my problems. What happened in the past? What will happen in the future? Worries about worries, anxieties, fears. No, I lost this. I will lose my eye, my ear, and my body, my life in the future. Oh, death is coming, approaching. No fear. Who brought you as a baby? Is taking it. The same light. The light has not changed. The same light. So while I was a baby, a grandfather was dying, or grandmother is dying. But I am giving a new life. What is that? At the same time, everything is repeated, but the things are coming and going, but the quality is manifested in them the same. That is how we should benefit from the prophetic message, rather than trying to go and see what happened 1400 years ago in Arabian Peninsula. If someone wonders, they can go history, but you never trust history. Amen. You know that. You cannot really guarantee what the historians are saying. But this belief, perspective, perfectly works for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ali. All right, we are at least going forward. So should we continue or should we stop here? Because this 11th proof is a little detailed.
I don't mind, but
Okay, so let's,
brothers and sisters, I don't know what they say. They should speak up. They have their free will.
right, so we can maybe continue a little bit more and see what's the point about bringing the message of the prophetic message to our conditions here and now, which actually makes sense. Otherwise, what am I going to do with history as you elaborated? So Hill, go ahead.
So like, on that point, I always find it interesting, like the Quran like never makes it a point to say that I need to know prophetic history. It just says follow the prophet, whatever that means, but and follow God and His prophet. But it never says I need to know history or what happened here or what happened there. And neither do you ever find the prophet saying that either. And even I mean, it's well known, he forbade writing down his statements while the Quran was being revealed. So, you know, I this like emphasis on history or, you know, prophetic biography that is just about events doesn't really, you know, I don't know why people have this sort of idea that this is like the prophetic message or mission or sunnah. I never really understood that or what the point of that is, because not the Quran doesn't like make mention of it or really emphasize that, or neither does the Prophet either.
Right. Thank you, Suhail, for sharing that, your comment. And so I think for the history, I think we can get closer to what the message is, as he says at the so the age of the prophet, seeing what his duties are. So getting in terms of the message that he is bringing. So seeing the at what time, why did he say that? Why at what point did he say that? So all those little details maybe are needed at that point. But the fundamental message that the prophet is bringing, I think, yeah, you don't need to go into any history or any historical base for that.
In this context, Hajj is very interesting. Only once in your life, you go and physical experience of the geography, not history, but geography. You can remember the history there and have it a physical experience in your life. Once is enough, Hajj. But going there every year is under the pretext of Umrah and saying we are experiencing, I don't know, I doubt it. It is a kind of turns into a touristic habit. You experience, then take it with you and live by it in your life. You know, we are human beings, are really, really love these rituals, not like rituals like prayer or fasting, but this physical something different as the Umrah. If you, we have to understand the spirit of Hajj. First of all, we have to work on the meaning side of it. But also this is a physical experience that is significant. Once, that's enough. That's Allah says, it is once, do it. That's it. And what we have to do, we have to really keep it this physical experience with you, but concentrate on the message as Suhail said. But you will do it with understanding the meaning, significance of it. So I'm going to experience the physical place, geography, where the prophet really lived. It is not an image. It is not a legend, a lived experience coming from the tradition, Muslim tradition, generation by generation, without any break, generation by generation. It means that is undoubtable reality. Everybody goes there in order to commemorate the physical experience of the prophet's life. That is necessary to me, but we have to understand. God says, if you are able, financially, politic means that is safe, to travel there, do it. If you are not able, don't think that you are missing a lot. No, it is not your responsibility. It means once a year is enough. If you, spiritually feel the need, rather than saying that I'm going there and I recharge myself, did you really feel it? That I have to see this atmosphere again, physically experience the Prophet, as if I'm going to, walking from Arafat to Muzdalifah. I am walking on the footsteps, footsteps of the Prophet. He physically walked here. That is amazing experience, physical. But once is enough, man. Not every time. Why I'm saying, I'm not telling this to any ordinary people. They don't do anything. If they don't go on Umrah, they will go on, I don't know, in other parts of the world and get engaged on this very base worldly life. So let them go there, because they have no other alternative, better alternative. But between us here, I don't see really any point there. But what I see now, the ritual turned into a fashion. I see people going on Umrah. Okay. Did you perform Hajj? No. How do you go there? You have not fulfilled the major thing. It is amazing, but I don't tell them because they have no other alternative. But we have to prepare ourselves, work for it, save it, and go to Hajj. But nowadays, by the plane, not wonderful experience, but okay, that is the only way. Age changed. Go there, but be yourself. That is for me. Don't go with your family. No. Be yourself. Even you go with family, make sure you are not going to live in the same place. You are not going to live together. Everybody will be living in a different hotel, never see each other until the day of return. That is okay. I experienced many times, we went there. I felt the same thing. Never come to this place with anyone acquainted to you. Why? You cannot be yourself because you know somebody knows you and you cannot say pretension, as if you are pretending. Because he knows you, you say, yeah, if I do this here, for example, if I cry, as if I'm showing off. So what you do now, you cannot be yourself. That is very essential. I am exchanging with you. First, try please to go on Hajj once. And never go with anyone who knows you together with. If you come across somebody there, okay, say salam alaikum, pray for me, brother or sister, bye-bye. Be alone and unknown person. Nobody knows you who you are, and let your feelings, if you like, how do you say, pour down. No, you are not showing anyone. No one knows you who you are. You do this, you do that. No one knows who you are. Who cares? So I feel this is the best way of making a Hajj, and we have to try to do that, really, without waiting. It became fashion again. when you reach the age of very, very old man, not really thinking and concentrating, most of your memories are not working perfectly. And then going there, that old age, waiting old age, Hajj is what? I don't know. But if somebody didn't have the opportunity, but only that time financially, it became possible. We don't understand. When somebody is financially ready and the effort, once somebody can afford going on Hajj, at the age of 18, he must go. That is ritual. That is what Allah's command is. I am 18 years old and I have inherited a lot of money, or I have accumulated in my budget in order to save in my budget, that with this money, I can go on Hajj. You have to go on Hajj. It is as far as your daily prayer or as fasting. That is what we lost this notion, because we usually practice religion in a fashion way. How the mode of the people do, we go with them. This is only fitting for a sheep in a herd, but a believer is not a sheep in a herd, an individual conscious being. That is why Hajj has lost its meaning in Muslim community. Old people go there, new people go on, young people go on Umrah without making Hajj. It means it is not really ritual. It is something fashion. I don't know what others, but we are here and we have to share this idea. If somebody has enough savings in his account, he must go. It is farce. Age, regardless. Allah didn't say, when you reach this age, you will go on Hajj. No. Allah said, when you are able, have to go. Finish. Like sunset, that's it. Maghrib time, you have to pray. That's it. That's it. Maghrib time. Sunset, you have to pray Maghrib prayer. Exactly the same. You have enough money, you have to go on Hajj. But prepare yourself. And don't wait until I prepare. No. Going on Hajj means experiencing a spiritual situation. When you go there, you will practice this spiritual consciousness within its physical being, physical conditions, like prayer. While I have to say Fatiha, I have to recite from Quran, make ruku and sujud, but I have to do this physical, but we have to be conscious that I am experiencing, expressing my feelings to my Creator while I am doing all the physical things. So the Hajj is the same. You know why you go to Arafat. You know why. No, the Prophet meant that's something, that's the physical side of it. How? The consciousness. Adam and Hawa is taught in this way, but it is very realistic. When they came to this world, they are historically narrated, but they experience the first thing the Quran narrates to us. What? ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا. Look at this. Arafat means this. And also, the famous Arafat means comes from Arife. It means i'tiraf is the same word. Yeah? Or ta'arif is the same word. Ma'ruf is the same word, same root. Yeah? Ma'rifatullah is the same, from the same root. That is why the name Arafah is also significant. The other one is, anyway, we are not studying Hajj here. So we are going to make concession, اعتراف, knowing my shortcomings and expressing it. I couldn't utilize my feelings, oil my creator. You gave me my abilities. I never utilize it in order to get to know you, get in contact with you. I am really, as the Quran example says, Adam made concession. I am making my concession here to you, but consciously, not repeating what we learned from the verse. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا. No, you have to know what you are saying. That makes the Hajj amazing. Once is enough for you. Thank you. I am excited about the Hajj, the real Hajj, not as it is we see nowadays. Real Hajj is very important ritual in Islam. It is also interesting that the Hajj was one of the latest order from Allah. It means the peak of all the actions and rituals, if you like, reached its top with Hajj. It is exciting. I'm sorry. Oh man, we are very late. I'm sorry. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Brother Ali. Any other comment by anyone? I thought there was someone who wanted to comment. I saw. All right. I think we're missing a lot of these things in our civilization right now. Muslim civilization. On how to really benefit from the teachings of the Quran and the prophetic practice. Inshallah, maybe benefit and learn more and prepare ourselves. So I'll stop here and we can continue inshallah next time with the 11th proof. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana innaka anta al-alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati suratul Fatiha. Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.